Hey, I'm Arjan Ruba and welcome to my digital guide. Today I'll be talking about the different mobile technologies that can be used for sports science students. Today you will be taught on the ways mobile technology can be combined with sports science. We will talk about global trends with regards to affordability and affordances. We will be touching on the developed and developing worlds. We will also analyze key educational approaches. And lastly, we will be discussing how study can be enhanced through mobile integration. Heading back in time to 1983, the Motorola Dynatac, being the first commercial phone, was selling at a taxing price of almost $4,000, which was equivalent to approximately $9,500 in 2017. A study in 2016 showed that more than 65% of the global population owned a smart device. However, Australia remains one of the leading global adopters of the smartphone, with 88% of Australians owning one. With this spiking growth in mobile technology, it is evident that our mobile devices will also experience a shift in their affordances and affordability. In this setting of mobile technology, affordability relates to someone's financial ability to purchase a mobile device, and affordances relate to the different functions and features of mobile devices and how it can be used for education. These two terms have an inverse relationship where devices with a higher affordance are typically low in affordability. However, Australia, being a wealthy and developed country, is lucky that we have access to higher affordance technology and also have a higher affordability. In developing countries, their focus is creating devices with higher affordability, which means lower affordances. Unfortunately, this means that developing countries are disadvantaged as devices with higher affordance are becoming key for higher education. However, this accessibility issue is slowly being lifted with the introduction of cheaper smartphones. Australia follows similar characteristics to other developed countries. There is an increased uptake on devices with higher affordances. This is seen through a shift to mobile and ubiquitous technology. Mobile devices are being introduced to many classrooms through bring your own device and blended learning. We also have better access to mobile devices in classrooms. There are four main educational approaches that I recommend for sports science students to be mindful of during their undergraduate degrees. Social constructivism encourages collaborative learning. It involves students using their current knowledge as a basis, which will be expanded on through active engagement with their peers. An example in sports science would be group projects. Behaviorism is an approach known as conditioning. It is shaped through positive and negative reinforcement. Students replicate behaviors that give the positive response and avoid those that result in consequences. This type of learning is helpful with the quizzes and online tests. Situated learning is an approach where the learner is immersed within an environment where the concepts taught can be applied immediately. It allows for a deeper understanding of the content. Information transmission is a form of passive transmission of information from a teacher to a learner. It provides a basis of knowledge for students, helps with the large content that is covered in sports science. Now let's talk about 5 uses of mobile technology. There are many educational applications that can be readily downloaded onto your smart device that cover a range of learning approaches. In terms of sports science, behaviorist applications like speed, bones, and anatomy promote visual learning and content covered in the course. In sports science, you would have realized that a lot of the content interlinks with one another. This can easily be done through an educational tool known as a mind map. They provide clear and concise information and can be created with ease. Mind maps can be used independently or collaboratively, and hence is the classic example of both informational transmission and social constructivism. With the rise in mobile learning, ebooks are conveying signs of superiority over traditional textbooks. They are an electronic copy of a printed text which can be read on a computer or specifically designed handheld device, which uses the informational transmission approach. Sports science students will know that we are required to purchase many textbooks, which can be quite a heavy load. Ebooks contain all the required information a student needs into one location. They are light and portable and contain a search feature for quickly being able to locate key information. Sports Training Principles is the recommended text in sports science and is available as an ebook. Quick response codes or QR codes contain both an informational transmission and situated learning approach. QR codes are a two-dimensional optical tag that links the virtual and the physical worlds. They are very interactive and user-friendly. With a simple scan, you can be linked to an array of media information. Try it out. Scan this code now to be linked to a sports musculoskeletal interactive site. Augmented Reality is a learning tool that overlays the virtual and the real worlds. This promotes a situated learning approach as information is digitally embedded over physical objects. Augmented Studio is a new fusion of augmented reality, gaming technology, and anatomy. It's giving sports students cutting-edge technology to take a look inside the human body by projecting different layers of muscles and bones over the top of a volunteer. My first peer to critique my digital guide told me that incorporating animations was very pleasing. He then advised that I should try to paraphrase my sentences. I went ahead and removed overpowering animations and made some content shorter. The second peer to critique my digital guide informed me that utilizing animations was impressive. He then said more specific examples of learning approaches were needed, so I went ahead and provided more concise examples and included visual representation. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.